Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's class. We are going to make a project with Aussie Grunge and our new fussy cut pack. So we released these ones here with Tropical and our two other Christmas collections, Christmas Land and Traditional Christmas. And this is the one to go Aussie Grunge and Aussie Christmas. So you have the cover sheet, which you get one of, and then you get 3 of each of these designs. So you have the pink Brontiers, or the red Brontiers, the dingoes and kangaroos, the birds, echidnas, koalas, platypus, possum, quokkas, Tasmanian devils, wombats, Bruce the frillneck lizard, crocodiles, escaped me, but we have all the Australian natives that you can imagine. Well, a select, because we can't fit them all on the one sheet. Leaves, and then the bottle brush, or a watercolor version of it. So there we go. And these ones here are completely reversible, and you get 3 of each of those 6 designs. You can choose which way they go on your project. Okay, so tonight we're going to be using the Brontiers, the dingo, koalas, kangaroo pack, and the possum head. And yeah, koalas and kangaroo pack. So we've got them pre-fussy cut here, and we've got some Brontiers left. Mum did cut them out for me, if I'm being honest. Righty-o, which I am. So tonight I have a bit of a funky idea where we're going to hero this Australian map on a card and get the full Australian map. And the way we're going to do that is with a fair amount of craft, and also with an exploding box. So an exploding box is where you pull it out and the sides fall down. It's a bit of a box card. The first thing we need to do is we're going to make the base. And the base is our craft cardstock. And we're using a full 12 by 12 inch piece of craft. And we're going to come in and we're going to score it at 4 and 8. And at 4 and 8. But we're going to spin it around. So let's score, because we want 3 columns both ways. And 8. Slide around. 4. 8. So we're going to get right into this. Alright. Now we're going to flip it around again. Coming out at the 4 mark. Coming at the 8 mark. Turn. Coming at the 4 mark. Coming at the 8 mark. What this does to it means that we can come in. Let's give every one of these creases a good old fold. But we're going to do it so then they go in both directions. So when we make this card, our craft doesn't give us any heebie-jeebies. So we come in. So folding each of our score lines both ways. Using our can use your bone folder, or you could use your bit from your scorer. Come in and help you out. So the next bit we can do is you want to either do this with a trimmer or a pair of scissors. I'm going to do mine with a pair of scissors because I'm quite comfortable, but if you're not, suggest a trimmer. You're going to come in and cut along one at the, because we've cut in, we're going to turn and we're going to cut in again, just on one of our score lines. Turn. Turn. And cut. And then what we've got now then is we come in, fold each of them up. We have the inner workings of our box card. Look at that, and then we'll have our lid to go on top. So now what we need to do is we've got to create the lid, and we've also got to come and cut all of our bits of pattern paper for our outside pieces and for our inside pieces. So then it starts to look a little bit more like a card rather than a piece of craft that we've just scored and cut. So let's do the lid first before we put away the scorer. So we're going to get our second piece of craft out. And let's come in. Here. Now, we're going to do a little bit of math for this next step, and I promise you it will be worth it in the end. So, just grabbing our notepad here. And, oops, sorry, I'm spinning everywhere on the chair. And our pen. So the base of our card is a 4x4 inch base. So this one here is a 4x4 inch base. Now we want it to sit very comfortably just over that 4x4 inches. So we actually want to add an 1/8 to each of those. So we've got a 4x4 and 1/8 by 4 and 1/8 there. And then we're going to have two pieces. Actually, let's make this a bit more comfortable. We'll do this at a 4. No, we'll keep it at a 4 and an 1/8. That'll be a bit too squishy. No, we'll do that. Come in and let's get our two pieces there. So this here means that we can fold it up underneath and get a nice flush finish with our lid. And that's what we really want. So we now have to decide how much our base, how far down the base we want to go for our lid. Some people find an inch comfortable. I personally, on a 4x4 square that sits at the front, so to put example what I'm talking about here, in case you're a visual learner, which aren't we all? So how far our lid is coming down once it sits on top. And I actually think if we come down about, I reckon, an inch and a quarter, just to make it comfortable. So we want it to be 1.25 inches by 1 inch. So then when we fold that flap underneath, it's not like it's going to be a problem if it doesn't fully sit up there. So let's go 1.25 inches by 1 inch. 1 inch. Now we can come in and do the math. So obviously both sides are going to be the same measurement. So what we can come and do is we go 2 plus 2.5 plus 4.18. What does that equal? That equals 4.8. So this here equals 8 inches and 5/8. Look at that for the lid. Our lovely measurements just there. I know. I was taught the long way. I'm sticking with it. Right, so let's keep going. So we need 8 inches and 5/8, which is the eighth, just over 1/2 inch. I got this. Yep. Excellent. And then and 5/8. So we've got our lovely square. Now let's come in and score our little thing. This is where the grid comes in handy, because doing the math is just one step. Then you've got to come in and score it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1 inch in. Then we're going to go 1.25 inches, which is 2.25 inches. Come in and give that a really good score. I'm going to turn, score at 1 inch. Score at 2.25 inches. Turn, score at 1 inch. And we just repeat this for all 4 sides. Sorry, we had rain yesterday. Right. Now we have our score lines. So before we put this away, let me come in. Just fold. Let's press together that way, so they're all going into the middle. Right. So let's put that scorer away and come in with our scissors again. And now what we want to do is, where we've got the inch here, we want to come up and just cut along these two, just so that we're left with that excess bit of the 1/4 inch, the 1 1/4 inch sticking out, and bits that tuck underneath with no tabs. Didn't quite get there. There we go. Okay. Now what we want to do, we just want to come in and cut one side, not both sides of this square off. And we've decided to do it on the inside for this. So it doesn't matter which side you decide to cut. It could be one or the other, not both. But once you've decided what side, you've got to do that for all 4. Now, let's just come in. Give this a bit of tape, shall we? Go. Right, let's come in and do a bit of tape now. So, just grabbing our 6mm. Putting the 6mm down there. Like so, and then lifting up our flaps. What we might do is just put on our thick 18 or 24mm tape on our tab. Tabs. Now, if you're a bit worried, what kind of maybe I did it. 1 second. If you're a bit worried that your tabs are too wide and they're not going to fit nicely underneath, like you've cut a little bit in on the score here, just completely fine. What we can come and do, so just come in and cut about an inch off on the ends, about, not an inch, about a 1/4 or an 1/8 of an inch on the inside. And you'll never see it. People who look at it will never know. And it can just make you have a little bit more breathing room. And you come in and stick it down.
What you making here?
An exploding box card.
Ooh.
Happy surprise. It opens up to photos. Are you going to bed?
Yeah.
See you in the morning.
See ya.
See ya.
Oh, so you might have some pies of chicken.
Oh, yeah. Righty. All right. So let's come in and peel our tabs up. And then we're not lining in the center. We're lining on the outside where our two seams meet. And the tab in the middle finds itself out. There we go. And then we're just rolling back that excess tape. Once again, lining up. Squeeze, hold. There we go. Peel back. Roll that excess over the tape. Line up. Right. Peel back. Hold and done. Right. Now, try and do this so then you can see it. Okay, let's grab out our glue. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in and peel out the extra tab bit that we made, the extra inch tab. Come in, put a bit of glue down for stick, tape for grip, glue for stick, because we want this bit to hold. And we come in and we rub. And we create that flush finish. So let's just do that on all of our sides. So we peel the tape, put a bit of glue. I'm also rubbing the glue. This is why it's important. And then let's create the flush look. There we go. Okay, peel. Glue. Rub. Stick. Really rub it on. And we're going to come in, don't worry if you've got like overspills of the glue, we're going to come in and put patterns all inside of our lid. We'll get the crucial bits. And we peel. Put glue down. Rub. There we go. So are we ready to see? You can also bulldog clip this so then it stays nice and stuck easily. But let's lift up our box card and put our fancy new lid on. And look at that. We have the beginnings of our box card. Yes, we do. So let's come in and actually decorate this now. So I was thinking on the inside, the Australian map, and on the outside, the base, I reckon the green wood. And then on top, one of the seams, and on the base, a bit of the blue. And then on the inside, if we also go a bit of the blue on the inside. So let's just put our card over there because it's It's nice and safe. The thing about the card is that the lid measurements for the bits that are going to go on top here will be different from the on top will be different from the measurements for the inside, because this is a 4 1/4, whereas the base squares are 4 by 4. So we're going to do with the base squares first, and then we're going to do the lid squares. So on the inside, if we just pull off our lid real quick and lay it down flat, you'll see that we have 9 squares here and 9 squares here that take up a full 12 by 12. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to make 9 squares of each. So let's come in and we'll start with the green first. Let's cut it down to 12 inches. Now, with the green, we actually only need 8 squares because the base one's going to be, oh no, we could do it in speckledy instead of blue. We'll see. The base one might be blue, but we'll still cut 9. So let's come in and we want to cut these to 3 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. So we've got one. Do you need the
My water, didn't you?
Oh, I thought it was mine.
It's okay.
We share the same genetics by 3 1/4. So we need 3 strips that are 3 inches and 3 by 3 and 3 inches and 3 1/4. There's a lot of 3s. We need 3 strips of it. So 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. There we go.
You finally said it right.
Finally got it. Yep. Only on the millionth try. So come in and cut our 9 squares. Honestly, it's going to look that fancy. There we go. So there's one. Three and 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's our inch mark. And we need 9 of them. So we're just going to come in. So it will take up nearly a full sheet of paper. You'll have like these little bits of scrap. That's okay. That's 4, that's 3. And that's the easy one. Now, the hard one is the map. So we're going to cut this to 12 inches first, our Australian map. Dunskies. Next, we're going to cut it into 3-inch strips. And you'll see why in a second. So we're going to cut it down to, well, we're going to cut it down to 4-inch strips. So we're first going to cut it down to 8 inches. So these will be the exact size of our squares. And then we're going to cut it down to 4 inches. This is because I don't want my map lopsided. So then on each of our 3 that are 4-inch by 12-inch, we're going to come and take 1/8 of an inch off on each side, on each of the 12-inch sides, not the 4-inch sides, just the 12-inch sides. We're going to take 1/8 of an inch off, so then it perfectly lines up. So we're going to go 1/8 and then turn around and cut it to 1/8. So it will line up with 3 3/4 inches on the second one. So the first one will line up with 3 7/8. Next one Three 3/4. Right. So first one. Three 7/8. Three 3/4. Right. So we've got our 3 strips down to there. Now we're going to come in and cut these into 3 squares again at 4 inches each. So let's just come in and cut them out. So we'll do one lot first. So 8. Four. And then we're going to come in and cut a 1/4 inch off. Well, 1/8 of an inch off on the side that we've just cut down. There we go. There's one. So slide it back in the way that we've cut it. An 1/8. Spin. An 1/8. So it will eventually equal 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So come in. An 1/8. Spin. An 1/8. And that's one side. We're going to keep the side bits together. So once again, so cutting them into 4-inch squares, it's cutting them into 4 inches. So 8, 4. The way that we've cut them the long way, we're going to come in and take 1/8 off. So 3 7/8. Turn 180 or a full turn or half a turn, whatever you want to call it. And 3 3/4. Come in. 7/8. Spin. 3 3/4. Grab. In. 3 7/8. Spin. 3 3/4. And last but not least, our last strip in the middle. So 8. I know. Also, then our map is completely sent off. And then 4. So 3 7/8 by 3 3/4. So we take 3 7/8. Spin. 3 3/4, 3 7/8, spin by 3 3/4. There we go. Now, this means that when we come and lay it out, for example, like this, our map is centered on our card, which I think is pretty fancy. So let's just move this one onto one side and come and do the lid. Now, we do have an 1/8 measurement here. So what we want to come and do is we want to try and make it easy on ourselves. So let's choose, what scene are we thinking? I'm actually feeling a bit like this scene here because we can get a lot of it within the 4-inch gap, or we can get a lot of it in this one here. Maybe we'll try for this one. So let's come in and see what we get at. So it's 4 1/8. So we actually need to come and do it at 3 7/8. Let's just cut this at the 6-inch mark and have a bit of a play. I don't think I cut that straight at all. There we go. Positive. So let's come and cut this at the 3 7/8. We're going to cut a little bit of the trees off. Then let's spin it around. A bit more of the trees. We want a little bit of the trees, but we don't need overly too much. And by 3 7/8. This is so that we can get that 1/4 inch gap that we've got already going for us in the middle. And look at that there. Oh, doesn't it look flush? It looks fantabulous. Okay. So our other scene for the inside of our lid is here. Don't look, there's fussy cutting on the back. Just gonna read it. So let's come and cut this at the 3 7/8 again, mark. And then let's cut off as much of the sky as we think we can cut off, because we want a full out scene. And then let's come and do a 3 7/8 inch. As you can see, we've only got about 1 inch of a sky. Yeah. And just over 1 inch of a sky there. And then when we come in, we put it in. Nice. Yes. So inside, outside. See? Yes. Oh, and we have a wombat in the middle of that one. It's a bit of a moment, isn't it? Okay. And then our side pieces. We want them to come from all over the same color / bit. So we're going to do them in this blue on the other side of our paper 5 from Aussie Grunge. And this bit here is, 1 second please, 1 1/4 inch. Look at that. I made it easy on myself. So we actually only need to do these. So we need to cut I reckon we'll need, because we need 8 bits for the lid. Yeah, because you got 4 on the outside and 4 on the inside with the lid sides. So we want, it's gonna be under 3 inches, but we're only gonna get 3 per strip. So we want 3 strips. So let's come in and cut 3 1-inch strips. This is going to be a lot. I have a better idea. We're going to switch to the smaller guillotine in a second. So instead, let's come in and cut our other mark, which is 3 7/8, because it's 4 1/8. What's it called? White. So we want it 3 7/8, so we'll get that 1/4 inch border. So 3 7/8, 3 7/8. We might as well cut this all down. 3 7/8. Right, and so let's switch out to our small guillotine, just because that was not going to be fun on that one. It's a little bit too big for fun there. Oh, look at that. So I'm just going to make this easy on myself and come in and cut this off at the 6-inch mark on the other side that we have the fussy cuts that we're not going to use. And flip it around, because I can just line this up now at the 5-inch mark. Just make that 1 inch. Then at the 4-inch mark, makes it 1 inch. 3-inch mark. And 2-inch mark. Right. Come in, line this up to 6. So we got 1, 2, we got 4 out of that. So we just need 1 more lot of 4. And we should be all good. So we're going to cut this at 6 inches to make our lives once again easy. Move that one out of the way. Let's go. So 5 inches. 4 inches. See, I do try and make it easy. Not use too many 8s. 3 inches. And 2 inches. There we go. Move all of these ones off to the side, all of the scrappy little bits. So then we can come in and stick down all of our panels and then decorate with our fussy cuts and maybe a chipboard. So we've got a bit of a title. Okay, so, or a sentiment. So let's do the base first. Here's the lid. Let's do the base first. So with our tape, we're going to come in and just put a bit of tape on each one of our sides. There we go. Right. Alright. Don't want to get them mixed up. Cat at the back door. I'm gonna keep taping. Go. And another one. There's still a cat at the back door. There's a cat at the back door. Oh, I'm not live. I could have got up.
Keep going.
I've had a moment of realization.
Right. Is it one of our cats?
Believe so. It sounds like Missy.
Missy. Missy.
Righty. Oh. No. Look at that. The map is centered. Totally worth all those 8 inches. Right, let's come in. And peel back. Stick it down in the center. Peel this one here back. Stick it down the center. What? Just keep peeling.
It's on.
Go. Once we do this, we'll go and do the back. Of it.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Move it forward. Oh. Jump the gun a little bit here. I did top row one, but I haven't finished the middle row. Come on and peel the tape off. No. That one off. Here we go. Last but not least, our mat. There we go. It's our mat. And now you see it folds up. And then when it opens, lays flat. I think that's pretty cool. Right, let's flip it over now. when we stand these ones up, we want all of the wood to be facing the same way, which means this one here be this way. It has to be that way. And that has to be that way. And this one here has to be this way. Now what do you reckon we do it? That way, or do we put speckles on the back? We might put speckles as the base. So we know which one's the base, hey? Right. Let's grab our tape. Put some tape down. And should we keep them all the same way? Oh, oh. And last but not least, the middle square. I'm going to stick the middle square down last this time around, I reckon. Okay, so let's come in and peel off this tape. Stick it down. Peel off the tape. Come in and stick. Peel off the tape. And then just making sure that I stick my wood grain down right. Don't want to have to peel them up again. One, two, all right. Come in and keep peeling. This bit's all very important. Every bit's important. I like this way up. Okay. And then stick that one down there. Now let's come in. Use the tape. Stick this one down the middle. See, I told you I was going to do the middle one last. So, when we flip all of these ones, they will face the same way. And these ones here will too. Oh, look at that. Let's go and do our lid now. So move that off to one side. And let's do our lid. Do the two big pieces first. We might just tape everything. How's that sound? We'll tape everything. Get it all taped. And then, oh, wrong way. Just come in and tape all of this bit. Righty, alright. It's time to choose. I reckon I will do the trees. I'm going to do this one here. The looks of it, the animals I've got. Dingoes would probably suit that more. We might go for this one here. It is a little bit more simpler of a scene for the top cover, but it does mean that when we put a chippy cut tile down, we're not going to remove anything from it. Like, we're not going to feel bad for putting stuff on top of it. And I don't want to feel bad for putting, you know, my embellishments on top of the scene. So, or like, question over it. So this is one of the harder ones to stick down. There we go. Woo. Both scenes done. And now it's time to do our sides. Luckily, these do not have an up or down. They just have stick in the right place vibe. Really doesn't want to stand up on that edge, does it? 1 second. Okay. Another one. We put this one here on. This doesn't like to sit on these edges. I'm just sliding. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to try and do it at an angle. So I'm sliding it in, and then once I find the spot, just rubbing it really into place there. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to decorate this. I bet her mum did all this fussy cutting for me. Okay. Okay. I really want to make sure my lid is really well stuck. Okay. Now let's have a look-sees. Let's see how it looks. Put the lid on. Okay, so that's it there with the lid on. Oh, looks fantastic. And then when we open it, Australia. So, time to go decorate the lid. And then we need to decorate the inside. We have lots of flowers and kangaroo, dingoes, but I'm wondering whether or not we leave this blank, because how much room do we get in the middle here? So we have a 4-inch base. Then let's say that we lose about a good quarter, like 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Hold on, I just want to try something with another piece of craft real quick. So let's grab out a piece of craft. Yeah, and we just cut 3 strips that are 3 3/4 by 12 inches. I'm seeing if accordion / zigzag fold out on photos will look any good, because then you could do like as a gift, or as some memorabilia of a trip that you did around Australia or that you did in Australia. So let's just come in and score it at 3 3/4, and then at 7.5. and then 11 1/4. So 3 3/4, 7 1/2, 11 1/4. Three 3/4, 7 1/2, 11 1/4. Right. Then let's get out Mum's phone folder here. So one way, and then another way. And that way. Another way. So just making them into like zigzags. These bits. Hold up, let's just have a look to see. Yes, it sits nicely. That's the first bit. Second. Third. Okay. Okay. Then how does it look when we open it? Okay, so yes. Does do you reckon we do a zigzag with photos on it? And then you can do like some journaling on the photos. It can be a bit brilliant, or we do like a bit of some fussy cuts on a few of the squares here, and then maybe a pocket. I don't know. Hold up 1 second. Sorry. Hello everyone. We're back again. Woo! Sorry about that. Just needed a quick little break, but we are back, and so what we're going to come and do is we need to make another, at least one of these. Yes. One more strip, so you'll get the pieces of cartridge. Whee! So let's just do 3 3/4 by 12. Should we do another one? We might just cut another 2 just in case we're feeling up for it. 3 3/4 by 12 and 3 3/4 by 12. Okay. Now grabbing out our scoreboard. Let's come in and do 3 3/4 by 7 and a 7.5 score and 11 1/4. Just like last time. 3 3/4 by 7.5 and 11 1/4. Right, and again, 3 3/4, 7.5, and 11 1/4. Okay. Now let's just grab the bone folder real quick. So we've made up 2 sheets of these now. Here we go. Now we want to keep 2 of these that have the extra 3/4 of an inch bit there, but the other 4, we want to come and cut that 3/4 of an inch bit off. So let's just grab our small guillotine. Slide him in. And cut these bits off. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to lay 1 this way and 1 that way because we want the flaps pointing outwards when we stick it all down. So let's come in and create our accordion, which is going to be super long and we want the thick tape. So let's just do our 3 bits of tape here. I'm going to burnish them down. Peel. So we're going to make like an accordion type mini book that you can pull out and see the full amount of photos. So coming in. Turning it down, turning around. There we go. And then one stuck together. Next one. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, the next bit we're gonna have to do, and then we'll start from the other end once we get this half done. So let's come in, yep, stick him down so he goes in there like that. So put him this way. Some tape down and on. Peel. Peel. Line up in. Make sure it's straight. And I just realized we could move this out of the way and make it a bit easier on ourselves. Like a lot easier on ourselves. Okay. And then, so let's fold. Oh, perfect. It doesn't have to lay flat. Just has to zigzag. So there's one. And then let's start on the other side here now. So just coming in with one of these. What? Mm. Take that one down. Is that this one here? There we go. And then let's do the last little bit. Come put tape down. Come in. And look at that. So we're at the halfway point. So what happens is we're going to stick it in our book, in our card, and the middle bit here, you're going to be able to pull it out and see everything. So it's going to slide back in like so. So what we need, this is a little pull out tab here. So we're just going to grab our leftover bit of the blue here. Let's come in and cut it further down to, I reckon, let's go 3 inches. It gives us good clearance with the height then. And now let's cut this down to 6. And we're going to make our, I think our tab, our pull tab, at least 1 inch. Looks like a good size. And then we need to cut it at 4 inches again. Cut it 4, so then we get 2 1-inch bits that we can stick together. So let's come in. Stick this together. Peel that one back. Stick together. It's perfectly aligned. And then what we need is we need some tape on the back here. Some tape on the back here. And peel one of these bits back in the middle. And come in. Now the trick is that we have to make sure that this doesn't go over the 4 inches in height. So peel that back. It's too far. Let's put a bit of glue down. Try and re-solidify this. Okay. Let's come in. Put it. Just roughly, yes, about there. Shouldn't need too much pulling. The point of having this excess here means that we can have a bit more room to work with and a bit more slippage. Okay, so then we pull that one out, put a bit of glue down. There we go. So how many photos can we fit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 photos. Look at that. And then what we're going to come and do is let's come and put some tape down. On these bits. And I'll see if I have enough fakey photo paper to cover all 14. Okay, so there's those ones. Just grab our drawing. So it's 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, the squares. So we want them at 3.5 by 3.5 inches. I don't think I'm gonna have enough. Sticky photo paper. 1 second. One moment. Okay, let's see how far we get. So let's cut this down to 3.5. Inches. And go 3.5. 1, 2, 3. 4.5. 4.5. That's 2. 3. 4. Wow, hold on, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we might do a bit of a combo. Half of black, half of white. Okay. So let's come in and do 3.5 by 3.5. Yeah, stick with this measurement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And now let's just come in and write on our white ones first. And you'll get the picture there. And let's do There we go. And then there's that one. And now let's come in and stick all of these down. So we're just going to put a little, these are my fakey photos. So we're only going to put a small bit of tape in the middle. Each one. I think I should have 14. Hold on. We've got 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah. And then 8. 6 plus 8. Yep, that equals 14. And let's just come in. We tape up all of these ones. Okay. So let's come in and take down one here. Flip over. Take down a black one. So my fakey photos are black and white tonight, just because I don't have fakey photos. I do have photos for this project that I want to use, and I will write on all squares after class. I just figured you wouldn't want to see me write on 14 squares the word fakey photo. So just coming in. And sticking all of these down. Oh, that slid. It's supposed to slide. White. Black. White. Okay. Slowly and surely getting there. White. Look at that. You can really tell that all of these are the fancy landscapes that we went past in Australia, like the beautiful scenery. We have a lot of scenery photos that this will work with in our family. I imagine it's going to be some great memorabilia. So there's that one. Right. Now let's come in and get our base. Go forward, too tall. Let's cut a smidge off. I want to get this right. Okay. Should be all good. So let's come in and we want to tape and burnish and we want to sit these about 1/2 inch from the side. But what we want to come and do is we just want to come in and cut the corners off. there's no exact to this. And I've also cut a little bit of my pull tag off, depending on how your one sits. When you stick it down, depends on how much you've got to come and cut it off. But the idea is that it pulls out like so. So, yeah. By doing the cut of the corners, you can actually line up that cut nearly with the outside of your square, because we're going to put it on a diagonal. So what we want to do is we want to burnish the tape, peel the tape back, add a little bit of glue. Not much, mind you, just a little bit. Add a little bit of glue to this side. Now stick one side down first, then come and stick the other side, leaving about half an inch in between. Now you just want to come in and really burnish that, and we're going to let that just sit there and dry. Just let it dry, and while it dries, let's come in and cut some stick down some of our fussy cuts. So I've got my dingo, my possum. I kind of thought about this and I figured it'd be really nice. I just had a few. Yep, it's definitely sitting well. Yep, sorry, just double checking. Just set a few little of our fussy cuts in a few spots, and because they're reversible, we can put them the way we want them to sit. So then it kind of like surrounds our photo accordion, but also so then we can come in and do some journaling down here. And we want to keep all of our fussy cuts flat here. So we're going to stick these down and then I think deal with the, because I actually like this. I had a bit of a thought, and while I was on my little mini break, because this class is quite a long one. I don't know if you've noticed while watching. It's a bit of a long class, so I took a bit of a mini break after building the structure, where we would have probably done this over to the second night in classes. So then we're just going to come in, put a bit of glue down, and stick our possumy poo down there. And then let's come in. They might keep going around. So let's stick our flower down. It is a little bit awkward. I'm still getting used to the reversible fussy cuts. When you come put glue down, I hold myself back a little bit, going like, oh, is that the right way? But yeah, no, it's definitely the right way. It is amazing, the reversibles, because look, if you wanted the kangaroo that way and put it over there, you could do that. But we're putting him over here, so we're going to stick him this way. It's amazing. Okay, and then there's our kangaroo. And then let's put some glue down here. and stick it down like so.
How'd your embroidering go?
14 photos.
Yeah.
It's
It's 14 photos. That's really good. That's awesome.
a little bit of glue and then just giving it a bit of rub. There we go. Bit of glue. I'm very heavy-handed, so I'm trying to use less glue than usual because I normally get glue everywhere in my creations. Stick that down. Bit of a flower. So I don't want to cover my map with my fussy cuts. When I'm doing, so I'm just adding a little bit here and there. To make it look less just like a sheet of paper. The other thing as well is while we do this, it's giving our little accordion bit time to dry. We don't want to move it or really touch it while the glue's drying because we had tape down that was burnished when we put it on and when we stuck it down, and we also had glue on it because tape for grip, glue for slip. Same concept apply here. It applies here. So we just only need want it to really stick. And then there we go. And we want our lingo to face in towards our card. So instead of I think that way, but I just don't want that going past the piece of paper there. So let's come in, put a bit of glue down, and then rub him out. In the kids' classes at the shop, we actually decant the glue into pallets, and then they use our not so great paintbrushes, the paintbrushes that are at the end of their life, to paint their glue onto all of their bellies. So let's just come on and a bit of glue down on this one, and then we'll put our dingo down there and come and do the cover. Sticking our dingo down, and we're not going to pull out our accordion just yet. I'll show you. All that in a second, and we haven't chippy stripped any of this up because the feature is the map inside, and also the fact that we've got the accordion, and we also want it all to fit really nicely when the sides go up. We don't want any possible damage or anything like that. So we're just coming in. One of the dingo's paws didn't really want to stick. So let's move to the side now and have a look. So I have saved. I know that bit was quite fast, but there's always planning involved before pre-recorded classes. A little bit sorry, it's not like creating on the live fully. I know that's how you guys really enjoy us creating. It's just it doesn't really happen like that when we record sometimes. So, but let's have a look. So I've got my kangaroo left over and this lovely flower, and I was thinking if we come on and we put the small Aussie word out of this pack here, it does mean that you get the whole C3 chipboard in your kit, so you can do another whole project with it. So either I reckon the small Aussie, or let's have a look at the bigger Aussie, because there's a big map inside. Hey, the big Aussie fits. And look at that. And we can have our flower cut in half. Oh, yes. So we can have a little bit behind the kangaroo and some behind there. Okay, yes. Let's do the big Aussie word. And we're going to zoom in just a little bit while we do the lid. How's that for size? Look at that. Nice and close. So let's come in. We want to paint our Aussie to be word. And I actually think dark brown might be the way to go for us, or even a black, just to really make it a nice finish. Yeah, it'll stand out nicely then. And then even if after you stick down your fakey photos, if you come back on later with your actual photos and you leave your fakey photos as a photo mat, maybe. Yeah, because I think I just realized I did this without a mat underneath, so I got to be actually careful. I don't want black paint pen on my card when I move it back this way, so let's just be a little bit mindful. That was always smart, wasn't it? There we go. So there's our Aussie word. And let's just come in, cut that one in half. And now let's stick down our kangaroo. Actually, we need our Aussie title to dry a little bit, so then we can plan out. So if I just set him there, so we want him to be, so it covers his feet, and his ears are just in. Okay, I see where he goes now. Let's grab some glue. So once again, just putting on a bit of a squiggle. And then dabbing. There we go. And then we're just going to come in and cut the tail off there. And then we're going to apply a little bit of glue here. That was way too much. Slide them in behind the kangaroo. There we go. And now let's grab our Tim Holtz scissors wherever I've put them. over here, and look at that. That paint pen is already dry. Okay. So let's come in and stick down Kangaroo's hand down properly. Spin it over. And then spin that one down. And before it fully sticks and before we tap it down, let's just come in and get our glue on our flower here and spread it out so that it goes all the way up to the petals. And there we go. There is our lid. Now let's lift you guys back up so we can have a look at the accordion part of our card. There you go. See everything now. Let's slide those ones back in there. And slide this one here along. So our accordion looks fantastic. It's dry. It's on there. You can have all 14 photos. You can also slide it back in. Close it up. Fold up each side. And put our lid on. There you go. And then when you're ready, just come in, open, flip out, and pull out. And there you go. We have a little bit of a Shebango card / memory box. Thank you all for coming. This is one of the few pre-recorded classes we are doing in December because we're currently teaching on a cruise, but we'll be back to teach live again to everyone in the very near future. We can't wait to teach live again. We are hoping that you're having a very crafting December for the ones that haven't, for all of you crafters who missed out on a space on our cruise this time round, and that we will see you all very soon in one of our live classes. And we hope that this class gives you a bit of inspiration to keep going. The kit is on the website for it. It is an amazing kit. You get a big photo as our new kit designs work. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's class and able to muster through. So thank you all for coming, and we shall see you very soon for a live class. But before that, a few more recorded. So thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful, wonderful night and a beautiful week. Bye everyone. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the card.